Previously on Critically Stupid.
Oh, still at the werewolf games. So we're also playing the 10 questions trying to figure out if Arturi is or isn't a werewolf. While we're trying to figure this out, Mel discovered a child playing with a stapler torturing the flesh bat from earlier, saying that Eliza had given her the stapler, weird, and told her to keep an eye on the bat. Weird too. Weird times two. During the game, we all discovered that Arturi had been cursed by Dr. Rudolph van Richten, he's in my notes by the way, and also became a werewolf after laying a trap for the man. Not a good idea. Then Arturi admitted that he had been met by a gravewalker earlier today, and then admitted that he was a werewolf and left. I'm going to end this entry on Gareth speaking to Stanimir and telling him that he's not a very good person, and Stanimir readily accepting that, because who does that? Let's see where this goes, folks. This has been a Julian Ironblade recap.
I thought you were going to make a sex joke.
What?
I'll be goblin ass. Anyway, it's like it's half past midnight. It is 20 to 1. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Wahoo!
All right, let's do the recap.
Get Strahd over here. I'll gobble his ass too.
My goodness.
Nom 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 nom. That's how it sounds.
What do you think it tastes like?
Oh, he definitely ashy.
It's stringy.
Ashy and stringy.
You know what? I realized that I pictured like carving into it like a steak rather than like
Carving into
sexually.
somebody's like.
Cool.
You were like, "What is his ass?" I'm like, "Oh, it's probably. I mean, it doesn't look like he's real fucking."
It depends on how you prepare it, Apollo.
Oh,
Obviously.
yeah. Are you roasting it? Are you steaming it?
Strahd's unmoisturized.
Oh, for sure, right? He's not paying attention down there.
He definitely doesn't have lube anywhere in that castle, and it fucking shows.
What's going on, everybody? No, I'm just kidding. All right, let's. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your soon-to-be world-famous Dungeons & Dragons Real Play Comedy Podcast, Critically Stupid. I am Alexander James. I'm your host. I am your Dungeon Master. I'm thrilled to be here with you in this spot in our D&D playing dojo. And my favorite part of last episode was definitely the side huddle in the huddle that Mel and Gareth started.
The sub huddle.
I thought this. Yeah, it was like a Slack. It was like a Microsoft Teams like sub channel, but it was just like the Ranger and the Rogue. I thought that was great. Apollo, why don't you go next? I almost said Julian, but that's not your real name.
Well, it might be. You haven't seen my passport.
That's
Hey, y'all. My name's Apollo. And I play Julian Ironblade.
Yes.
Definitely didn't look at the character sheet again for the name that I've been saying for far too many episodes. And my favorite part of last episode was when Mel was just off having conversations with children, just being like, hey, tell me everything you know. And the child was like, here's everything I know. I am a child. I might
Kids
not
are
be a
so
reliable
dumb.
narrator.
They're so stupid. They'll say anything to anybody.
Yeah, I like that.
Who's going next, Apollo?
Garion.
Hey everybody, I am so tired, and I play Gareth. Um,
I'm so tired.
my favorite part of last episode was probably when Mel asked the child what they were using to torture the bat thing, and the child presented a Staples brand stapler.
Hmm.
Who I don't know where the fuck the goth chick. Is there a Staples in Barovia? It provides so many.
I'm excited to find out.
There's a fantasy office mix somewhere in there.
Diana, please.
Nope.
Oh, hey, hi.
Nope.
No,
Nope.
why?
Nope. Garion.
What? God damn it. Fuck you. All right, at least be less condescending about it, you asshole.
I thought it was me. I was like, what the fuck?
No, everybody. I also have Constance the kitten with a magical book of hats, and he looks like the cutest kind of cat you can imagine.
Economically.
Next time, Alex, next time you start talking, I'm just gonna interrupt you and go, nope, nope, nope. It's truly annoying, and it makes you makes me like you less.
That's a good note.
Diana, please.
No. I'm gonna derail us already, but I really need to know, what is everybody's like cutest cat that they picture?
Probably mine, Nimbus. He's a coal black American short hair, but half his tail got cut off in an accident when he was a kitten, so it's just a little question mark that's like this long. It's the cutest thing.
I love that. That's fair.
I love cats. My mother is allergic to cats, so we do not have cats. Unfortunately, I am also very allergic to cats. A cat once slept on my face, and I almost died the next morning.
Yeah.
However, that's a second piece of lore for you today. Allergic to cats, love them.
2-in-1, baby.
I'm also allergic to cats, bro.
But do you have like a favorite like type of cat? I don't know much.
I don't really know that many types of cats because
Yeah,
I haven't gotten close to them, but like just
fair.
a small little black one, just a little mischievous guy.
I'm good with that.
I had a cat, Zoe, who was a very spooky black cat whose birthday was on Halloween, and that is amazing to me to this day.
That's cool.
Black cats for the win. What about yours, Anthony?
Yeah. You know, I kind of imagine this very weird, obscure alien. It's from this movie. Here, I'll show you a picture. I was looking it up because I was like, no one's gonna know what the hell I'm talking about. But it looks like this. It's called CJ7.
That's a cute creature.
Yeah, like I think of that when every time I think of that with like a cute freaking hat. Like it's almost always like the Adventure Time hat, like the little fin. Like I don't know why.
That's a good hat.
That's what I'm gonna picture now. See, I always pictured the kitties with the little folded ears. Scottish fold kids or whatever. They're real cute. Hi, my name is Diana. I play Mel. I also have the wolf pup, Joshua Patrick, Josh Pat JPZ. I think my favorite part of last episode was, okay, I don't know why you keep making this mistake, Bestie, but when there's a child, you always start out by trying to make them cute and endearing, and it inevitably turns on a side of me that does not at all care for this child. So then you have to turn it into a little hell beast. And then I care about the child. So it's not on purpose. I only notice I'm doing it when you call me out for bringing bad energy to the table again.
I was like, this kid's fun. Like they're playing, they're dancing, they got a stapler. And then I was like, you were like, why do you have the stapler? And I was like, to staple that thing together. And you were like, cool. And I was like, what's happening?
That's how children should work. That's how children do work. Sorry.
Yeah, true.
Fuck them kids.
Yeah. Anthony.
Okay, my turn. I'm Anthony. I play Arnold the Bard. My favorite part of last episode was watching Alex realize that he had to make the decision whether or not the guy was a werewolf or not. He's like, oof, I did not plan for any of this. So I was like,
you could tell that he was really banking on the 4 questions we had left to decide. And
absolutely. I mean, I do love it. I was also going to say, I like when we're asking these kind of random questions just to kind of like beat around the bush of whether or not he's a werewolf or whatever. And you're like, how about you ask this, you ding dongs? What are you going to do? And we're like, okay.
The part where Garion was just like, hey, Arturi, are you cursed? And it was just like,
wasn't that mid huddle?
It was. You guys you popped out of the huddle.
Yes. Just meerkatting.
Okay. We are going to open as we do every time with a part of your world. I would like to know about the infamous by now bottle incident that took place at Madame Ava's camp last week. this is obviously for you guys to invent. I have no idea what happened. They just told me that there was a bottle incident. So my first question goes to Apollo, and that was, who were the key players in the bottle incident?
They were both adults. They were both above 18. I'll
Yeah,
tell
that's
you that.
exactly what I was gonna say.
Apollo and I are thinking the exact same thing, and I can tell immediately.
It's you ever see that meme? It's like clown to clown communication, and it's telepathic.
Clown to clown communication is the only way that you and Garion exchange words.
It's us youths.
See, we looked at each other's cameras, and we just eye contact. We went, we know what this is. I was literally just going to ask, what is the name of an individual who is in this camp who is between 18 to 22? They're in an experimenting part of the period of their life, and yeah,
and real lonely one night.
And had access to a scroll of the grease spell.
Okay. So one of the camp youths who had access to a grease spell, who is in a experimentation part of their life.
Yeah. You just want a name?
Sure. Yeah, give me a name.
Oh, Jerry Jeremiah.
Jerry Jeremiah, of course.
JJ for short.
JJ. All right. I really feel like I'm missing a reference here, and it's going to come back to get me in a big way later. That's fine.
Not yet.
Anthony, how did the bottle incident start?
It was rough. It wasn't great.
Okay.
Start. Oof. It was. God, you put me in this tight spot.
Just like he was.
Garion is barely holding it together over there.
God, I need to pray.
I need to pray.
I gotta go to church.
Okay. How did it begin? It began as most incidents do in small villages, with a rumor and a dare.
Okay, perfect.
Real.
A rumor and a dare. What was the rumor? What was the dare?
Oh, you want me to? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the rumor was. Okay, I mean, how much do I run with this?
Anthony, come on, right here.
Thing that we're doing here. Okay. Okay. The rumor was that if you use a specific set of words, you can turn anything into a bag of holding.
Okay, cool. That's cool. What was the
That's
dare?
how it starts. The dare was to turn someone's butthole into a bag of holding.
Well, I'm sorry, but this is the bottle incident. So how does the bottle figure into the rumor and the dare?
You'll find out.
Use your fucking brain, buddy. You can figure it out.
Okay. All right.
Also,
Gary,
was it the bottle incident or the butthole incident?
It was the bottle incident, as in a Coke bottle. But now, Garion, what was the spark that sent it spiraling out of hand?
A clench. And it all went wrong.
Elaborate on that, please. Give me something else.
I mean, it was going fine. They had presumed the orifice was then converted into a bag of holding after the phrase was spoken.
Okay.
So an empty glass bottle was then inserted into the bag of holding.
Actually, I got enough. Thank you. You've spoken enough words. I've picked up on what's happening there.
You asked me to elaborate.
This is a family friendly show, so I'm gonna stop you right there before we get the Christian centered part involved.
Hey, if it's in the butt, you don't technically use your virginity. It's okay by Jesus.
Apollo prayed earlier, so we're good.
I have a Bible in that bookshelf. I can take it out whenever we need it.
Bestie. This being Madame Ava's camp, obviously Madame Ava knows about everything that happens here, has a hand in almost everything. So what did she do about the bottle incident?
Are we like just showing off our Bibles? What?
Yeah, go get yours, Diana.
Mine's pretty buried down.
You're gonna
be
looking for a while.
I don't think a Bible can cross the threshold of Bessie's house without bursting into flames.
Real.
because I set it on fire.
Oh.
So what did Madame
You know
Ava
what's so
do about
funny? I
this?
live like there's a church right behind me.
Oh, Alex.
Sorry, I'm really high. What was the question? Something about
What,
Madame Ava?
what did Madame Ava do about the bottle incident?
Oh, not a goddamn thing. Nobody wants to know about that. That is something very private that was going on, experimental phase. She understands, she knows about it. She wishes she didn't, much like the rest of us here. Wishes that they didn't know any, especially you, Alex, wishes that they didn't know the details of the bottle incident, even though Madame Ava also, interestingly, made the same mistake and asked for details to begin with. Um, so now she wants to know nothing else.
Okay. All right. That's fair. I would like to open this episode. It is, let's call it late night, early evening at the Vistani encampment by this riverside. I want to have a quick scene with each of you as you either stay up late or wake up early, having an encounter with someone or something at this encampment. Obviously, I've talked about a couple of options. You've got, this is, you could talk to one of the Vistani like Stanimir or Eliza. You could talk to Irina Kolyanovich. You could figure out what's going on with Fidget the Bat or the kids, or, there's multiple opportunities. And I just want to have a quick bubble of like character development because I want to know what your character does by themselves, late night, early morning. We're going to roll a D4. And Apollo, you are up first. So my question is Julian Ironblade up late or up early?
He's up so late that he's beginning to be up early. He's pulling a solid academic all-nighter.
Okay, what's he
I
doing?
think he hasn't been in a solid and safe place like camp in a while. So he's taking the opportunity to update his travel journals that he's been keeping. Travel journal, which is quite literally just like the back of his spell book. His spell book is also his travel journal. It's his philosophy when it comes to writing things down is shorthand everything so that I can get down. So that this is just how I take notes in university. Uh, take down as much as I possibly can. It doesn't matter if it doesn't make sense, because then I will go back to it and I will write it out in a proper way.
Do you not get to type your notes in university?
Bit of both. Depends on the vibe.
Julian's spellbook also being his travel journal is so funny to me because I imagine it's like in a really intense combat situation and flips open his book. He's like, Tuesday the 17th, I went to wait, shit. Firebolt.
That's pretty much it, honestly. Yeah. So I think he finally gets the chance to sit down and start cross-referencing things from his own research, things that he knew about Barovia, with the things that he is getting from lived experience. It's a lot of crossing things out and just like adding little notes like, that's bullshit, that is not a feature, or like, yes, absolutely, please amplify this next time somebody writes about this, or like marking things as unreliable, or et cetera, et cetera. And
Am I
he
actually an accountant?
no.
This is like an accountant question mark.
Yeah, he's not sure now. We've said it so much. He's like, am I though?
No, I think
We're
seeing
getting
the
to
name
him,
Rudolph
guys.
van Richten, having written down the name Rudolph van Richten and seeing how uh in his previous research that name popped up as a big name. I think he wants to track down stuff about Rudolph van Richten, and if possible about the Grave Walkers as well, because that's how it started. So he's also starting to like the cork board in his mind of how is everything connected.
So let's do this, Julian. I see you sitting at a small writing desk near the open back of one of the Vistani wagons. The
For sure.
band of sky by the trees is just starting to turn the faintest shade of gray, and you're starting to hear like ravens squawk and flutter as they start to like get ready to hunt for the dawn. And there's a stirring outside the wagon, and you hear a voice say, "You are a early riser, are you not? This is very curious. I thought you would be dead to the world." And Eliza walks up, the same big titty goth bitch from last night.
Lovely.
She is slightly less goth now. The makeup
Oh.
has been wiped off. She's wearing just sort of like somber like robes, and she is carrying a mug of something that appears to be steaming.
Without looking up, I say, "Oh, it's morning. What time is it? I've been writing."
I am not quite sure. I don't have a time device. I sort of wake up when I feel like it. What are you writing there? What sort of stories are you telling?
Well, right now it's just my notes with my spells and everything. When we entered the realm, I had some rudimentary knowledge. I'd done some research. Actually, I was planning not this soon, but I was planning at some point to try travel into the Shadowfell because the next book that I'm writing, I want it to be on the deities of the Shadowfell. Uh,
You do not strike me as the sort of person that should be venturing into the Shadowfell by
no, I'm
yourself.
really not. No, well, I didn't want to be here. Now, in an ideal world, I did 2 to 3 years of research, then 1 to 2 years of physical training, and then I hired a troop of adventurers to escort me through the Shadowfell while I did some research. A werewolf showed up at a bar, and the people that I'm here with think I'm an accountant, which I'm not.
A werewolf showed up at a bar. This sounds like the start to some joke. Like it sounds like the punchline or the setup to a
Yeah,
bridge.
yeah, it does.
Is that how you wound up here? I had assumed that you were new
Yeah,
to the area because you look sort of soft.
okay. Um, I think Julian will just give her the short version of everything that they've been through,
Totally,
pretty
totally.
much. He's like, oh, finally, someone who's actually wants to hear the story, and he'll just start spewing everything.
I like to think that you start the short version, but much like Diana telling a story, you start like breaking into like little tangents, and then like this stub starts like blooming into its own story, and then you circle back to like I that's how I hear Julian tell stories in
Oh,
my
for
head.
sure,
Oh,
for
I
sure. He
pictured him
starts
starting like
off.
way earlier than necessary. Like I was born at age 5.
I was born.
I
He
always get back to the
definitely.
original story eventually. I will find my way and it'll all make sense. And also, I didn't interrupt once. That was like a long time for me, and you still came for me.
Well done. Well done.
He definitely is. He talks in the same way Tolkien writes,
Ugh.
where it's like, so first off, we came up across this dark forest, which, by the way, let me talk about the flora there. Definitely unusual. And he just goes into a tangent on like why the flora is unusual, but he can't do that without explaining what the usual flora would be and then how it deviates and then why that's significant. And then it's like, okay, well, anyway, we're on the road. And then, yeah.
I think I'm beginning to understand why people don't like me.
Uh, Apollo, Eliza listens to this story with actual engaged interest, asking sort of like intelligent questions, definitely like not paying you any lip service. She's like with you in this moment. At some point you realize that she has started to lean with one sort of like black fingernail painted hand under her chin, and is like genuinely like looking at you and nodding, and is very interested. The one point in your sort of recounting that sort of grabs her interest is the part where you start talking about Daru, the son of the
Mhm.
priest in Barovia, and she sort of starts asking more questions about that. And she's like, "So, I'm so sorry to interrupt. I don't mean to, but he was alive when he was returned to the village. That's so curious. I mean, I assumed that all of the spawn coming from Castle Ravenloft stay dead."
No. Vampiric transformation is very weird. Sometimes you can just die if a vampire bites you. Sometimes if they bite you and then you drink some of their blood, then you can become a spawn. And then if they die, it some people say that if your sire dies, you die, and then some people say that if your sire dies, you become a true vampire, or if then you like drink their blood again, then you become a full vampire. It's really weird. But yeah, no, Doro was he was back. I feel bad for him. Nobody should have to go through that.
And how did you say that he came to be in this basement to begin with?
What? Hey, this is Apollo. Was it the father, the
Yeah.
priest that put him there? Yeah.
Daru went on one of these like waves of siege that had been plaguing Barovia, and his
Yes,
father
yes.
locked him in the basement.
Yeah, I'll tell that story and I'll talk a lot about the father and the church and how all that was set up. I will not talk about the holy symbol butt plug though.
Generous of you. I like that. Roll
Thank
me an
you.
insight check, please, Apollo.
Roll to see if you want to.
If it's that, can I do it with disadvantage? Because what the hell?
Because nobody knows.
12.
12. Okay. She is intrigued about this particular portion of the story for reasons that you aren't quite able to parse through. It's something about this relationship with the father and the son, or the church and the villagers, or there's something about this particular nugget of the story that fascinates her, how Doru came to be in the village.
I think Julian fully can clock that she's interested in it, but he just starts thinking about, well, there are all these different relationships and like dynamics that she could be focused on. So I can't really tell which one it is because there's like 20 different permutations of this.
Fair. Okay. So to wrap this up, I think she reaches out and nudges your leg and says, "Would you care to stop by my wagon? I have a little fresh brew that we could share just among friends. I have the starting of a fireplace there. The dawn will come up soon, and we will see its light shining over the river. It is a lovely view, and I would not hate sharing it with you."
Dude, I don't think you need to roll, man. I think she wants you, bro.
I'm rolling to see if Julian will pick up on this.
There it is.
Uh,
Give me a social cues check.
oh God.
With severe disadvantage.
God. 2. That's a 2 on the die. I think Julian fully just says that's a really nice offer, and I don't want to sound rude, but this is the first time in days that I've had to sit down and actually look at my notes. So I will spiral more than this is the one thing that's keeping me from spiraling. So I kind of need to focus on this right now. But when I'm done in 6 to 12 hours, sure.
Okay. Good news is she's amused by you more than offended. She smiles genuinely and taps your leg again and says, "Well, the offer is open if you ever care for it to be. But I like you, Scholar. I think you're a cute one." She will walk
Don't
away.
tell Garrett that. He will be upset. Anyway, and I just go back to my writing.
For the purposes of this episode and the ones coming after it, this is after a long rest for all of you. So these sort of vignettes will happen in and around a long rest. All right, next up is Arnold Stevenson. Up later, up early.
I'd like to say that Arnold gets up really early, but early enough to see Julian. Okay. So, and I like to imagine like his situation in the morning is he starts with picking up his lute and he's just playing it, and he's literally just sitting there watching Julian as he's doing his notes, just like kind of thinking about writing and thinking of a song. And as the goth girl, the goth woman comes in, he gets interested and starts playing like a love song, trying to help Julian, but then realizes like, okay, wait, maybe I should leave so they can do, this is happening. And then like he makes his way out of the situation. But would find his way to the bat, the flesh bat, because that's going to be Fidget for sure.
Okay. So. Fidget has been the rope that has bound Fidget has been unraveled enough to be staked into 3 different points, anchoring him to just a piece of ground just outside the camp, close enough that he is obviously like it's not difficult for you to find him, but he is sort of like sequestered from everybody. And he stirs at your presence and turns and gives you a baleful eye.
So in his he was kind of unraveled in such, does he have a mouth? Could he speak?
He does. If you took a burlap sack of coffee beans and slashed it with an X-Acto knife, that's what his mouth looks like.
Not into it. Okay, so so I want to kind of like continue to play, and just like sing softly and see if he responds, just because, we had a dance battle and he's obviously a musical creature.
What are you playing? I think is the most important question of this moment.
Because I get knocked down when I wake up again.
What I was thinking he was going to play.
Fucking Pump Thumping is going to have to sponsor this whole ass camp. We're going to have to pay them money to play this game.
Yeah, I Chumba his Wumba. No,
Whoa.
Listen.
This is not the bottle incident, okay? Keep that shit to yourself.
So, okay, no, I think it's just like an instrumental thing, like almost like as if I were going to stop what I'm doing to, like in that moment in a musical where it's like they go from like normal narrative and like conversating to suddenly like now I'm singing what I'm doing. Like, where did this happen? Like,
It's like I just can't take it. I just can't take it.
Exactly.
Yes, that's like how non-musical shows go into their musical episode. They have like that one character.
Looking at you, Scrubs. Anyway,
the Flash musical episode.
Fidget
fucking goated cast.
The Fidget the Bat shifts and tries to like rotate with you, because I see Arnold sort of walking in a little circle around him. So he tries to like pivot and sort of scrabble at the dirt with his long taloned fingers, but he can't move himself around. And so he's forced to just like stare at you as you move around, but he doesn't speak just yet.
Okay. So
he's certainly paying attention, I will say that.
Okay, so in my song, can I kind of want to ask him. So I basically say, why were you trying to kill me?
Love this song.
He says, oh fuck, I gotta remember what he sounds like.
I don't think we've heard him talk yet, have we?
He did speak enough to challenge you to a dance battle.
Oh, was there a challenge? I just kind of thought it started happening.
I thought he just kind of pointed and started dancing. And
well, no, it was like the very end of an episode, and I was like, "Dance battle!" Oh, that's what he sounds like. Great.
Oh, bang! You got it.
You nailed it.
There you go.
He says, "Send to you, eat you, num 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 num, pinch you and tear you and scratch you."
So I play louder. I play louder.
You kick some dirt into his face.
Yeah. It's like, so I'm like,
dirt in your eye.
So like, so I basically ask him, did someone send you, or are you just very hungry and I look delicious?
Anthony, I'm so sorry. I'm going to need you to sing that.
Oh, you're right. Did somebody send you?
Fidget actually starts in a very clumsy way, Arnold, mimicking your singing pattern or patois as he answers and says, Master sent me after you.
Okay, so at that, I'm kind of like, I'll stop playing and just like, I'm thinking, of course, there's a vampire and there are bats and such. Mm-hmm. So I'm just like, oh, is your master a vampire?
I don't know. Maybe.
That's interesting that you wouldn't know. I mean, you'd think if he was your master, you don't know anything about your master. That's kind of sad. Are you not friends?
He feeds me live rats, big ones, juicy ones, the size of pumpkins.
Oh,
I eat them.
So I say, is your master's name Strahd?
No.
Oh, thank God. Okay, so
his name is Rad.
That's rad.
His name is Rad as hell.
Ah, fuck you! I said it first.
Damn it! Fuck. Rad. This is not the Muppet, Anthony. If the word Muppisode comes out of your mouth right now, I'm gonna reach through this camera and I'm gonna gently stroke your earlobe.
That is not what he's gently.
That's not a threat.
Whoa, we stroking on Maine now? What the fuck?
Are we stroking on Maine?
So I say,
keep that shit to the Patreon, which, by the way, people, we do have.
Hold on.
Probably, maybe. If we don't,
we might
for
at
Bessie's
some
OnlyFans
point
coming soon.
And if you wish to see us stroking on there,
come to my OnlyFans. I be stroking and reenacting the bottle.
I don't know anything about I don't know anything about my master, except that he feeds me big juicy rats the size of pumpkins, and then I live in a big room with a big window that he throws me out of and says, "Get him!" And I get him. He picks me up by my feet, and he whirls me around his head, and then he chucks me out the window and says, "Fuck him up!"
I like to do it. He does it like the shot put in the Olympics where he spins around 3 times.
Fuck him up.
But everybody in the house seems scared as hell about my master, Rad. Everybody's really scared of him. I'm scared of him.
So, where do you live? Where are you from?
Whoa.
I'm from the big cloud in the sky.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Dick.
Yeah, like I look up. Is there a big cloud in the sky? That's
You know
very
what's
noticeable.
crazy, Arnold? There actually is. So I'm going to take a quick second and just describe this encampment because I kind of rushed you guys to it to do a bunch of shit narratively. You are sitting in a wood enclosure by a flowing river. It's probably about 20, 30 feet wide, very idyllic, sort of babbling alpine stream over rocks. But you are surrounded by these sort of the shoulders of these massive, like snow-capped mountains. Very like high alpine Swiss river valley kind of vibe. But you notice, Arnold, that to the upper right, as the sun comes up and sort of like struggles to pierce the heavy bank of clouds perpetually over the valley of Barovia, there's a patch of clouds that does not move across one stretch of mountain up 700-800 feet above you. And
Alien.
Fidget sort of like jerks his burlap sewn together skin chin towards that and says, "That one, I come from there.
Okay,
That's where the rats are. The big ones like pumpkins.
That's
Oh,
where
see,
rats
belly's
come
full
from.
of sweat."
so okay. Obviously they tied you up here for some reason instead of just murdering you, which is very shocking. Like, so I'm not sure I understand why. Do you know why they might be keeping you here?
The big man with the eye patch said that he was going to burn Fidget and then laugh while he did it. And then last night he came and found me and he took me away from the kids. And then he said, I'm too drunk to enjoy it. So I'm going to tie you up and do it in the morning when I can.
Huh.
Chivalry isn't dead.
Dude, fucking Arnold's just like, huh.
Just, huh. This is... Arnold's crying. Arnold's crying. He's like, I could have just gone and played some music by a babbling brook, and now I'm learning about
I've ruined my morning.
ruining my morning. So like, I was just looking for coffee. No. So okay. So I'm gonna ask him.
Yep.
So I'm gonna ask him. So obviously, you're about to be murdered by the terrible eye patch person who's gonna set you on fire and laugh at your death. I hate to see that happen. Is it like you seem like
about it. I deserve death.
Okay, then. Yeah, right. I mean, in that case, I'm not gonna not get you what you want.
Hey, listen.
I am to please.
Real talk. Real keep it 100 with you. I'm a bad guy.
Yeah, that's fair. Speaking of bad guys, though, like, can you tell me anything else about your master? And like why would Rad send you after us or me specifically?
It's the gosh, it's not culturally cool to call her a bitch anymore. The woman that you found in Barovia that you're traveling with.
Oh yeah, that bitch.
Master said to keep an eye on her, and that if I got the opportunity to attack you guys with my sick moves, then I would do it. And then he spun me over his head like a shot put and said, "Fuck him up, Fidget," or whatever my real name is.
Maybe Rad's just a big fan of the Great Mouse Detective.
Who isn't, frankly?
Yeah. Okay.
All right, Arnold, you get one more question before we got to wrap up your engagement with Fidget.
Okay. Let me think. I guess there was magic. Did Arnold? Okay, hang on. Did Arnold see the person in the shadows at all who was kind of manipulating, creating? I didn't think so, right? Okay, I don't know that. So as far as I know, it's that. Okay, so I'm just gonna ask him. Fidget, you seem to have some sort of incredible magic that you trapped me in while we were dancing. I've never seen a spell like that. Did you do that?
Yeah, man. It's called capoeira.
It's called domain expansion.
Domain expansion, sick moves.
Nice. All right, so he's gonna die with me thinking that he's a magical like flying bat. Okay, cool. This is great.
Yeah.
So I don't. He's not gonna tell me. Okay.
All right. Bestie, you're up next.
Yes.
Is Mel up late or up early?
I'm gonna go with early because she usually would get up with JPZ.
Okay. So what are you up to? What's your moment in this encampment?
JPZ on his walk.
Okay, so let's pretend that we're making like a story for a narrative.
That really does. I'm sorry, but JPZ on his walk does sound like a debut rap album.
It does.
Yeah, it
and
does.
I would listen to it. But I am curious as to like sort of what else in this encampment are you while you take JPZ on his walk, which is obviously very important, and he's so cute. He's got a fresh bandana on.
Yeah, it does.
Sort of from a narrative perspective. What else are you doing?
Well, every morning we just kind of work on his like tracking skills, especially for someplace different and new and whatnot. I do not remember who you said I could potentially run into.
Okay, then invent somebody. Just run into somebody.
No, you said we could interact with certain characters.
You've got I see. You've got Madame Ava, the leader of this encampment who gave you the Taroko reading. You've got Standemir, the one-eyed rogue who Gareth successfully managed to admit that he was a bad dude last night. There's Eliza, the big titty goth bitch. And there's any number of just like pleasant Vistani that you could inquire as to like what's going on with the camp or what they know of the valley or what they know of Strahd. You know, there are if you're up early, there are other folk up early, including what appears to be like one sort of like mid-30s guy who also seems to be taking his dog for a walk. He's standing out in front of his wagon, putting on like thick, heavy-duty burlap and canvas boots.
He crosses the street when you approach him.
He's got call it like a massive German shepherd sitting very politely next to him, holding his own leash in his teeth.
I mean, you know, I'm too high to say no to another dog. I mean, you're bringing one in for me here, which is so unlike you.
Are you gonna steal this guy's dog?
100% yes.
You can't steal another trainer's Pokemon, Diana.
Why not?
It's in
I can't steal from an NPC. I never played Pokemon correctly. I am going to assume that perhaps the dogs kind of want to sniff at each other when I go to walk by.
Sure. I think they're both very well trained. I think Josh Patrick stays by your side, and this German Shepherd, like obviously clocks Joshua Patrick and you, but doesn't even budge while his person finishes putting on their boots. And then I think there's a quiet muttered word from this person as he notices you. And the German Shepherd very politely walks over and starts sniffing Josh Patrick. No overt aggression or excitement on either side. They're not like growling or snapping at each other. It just seems to be like a meeting of equals.
Okay. Since they're meeting, because normally I feel like she'd just keep walking, because who wants to talk to anybody that early? But the dogs are meeting with each other, and apparently I have to tell a story. So this is your Sunday energy. So I think she would just start by probably just that head thing. Sorry, audio only listeners, but the head.
Yeah,
No,
it's up for people you know, down for people you don't. I'm familiar.
Yeah. Thank God. So she do the head thing and probably just say, good morning.
Good morning. Yes, it is lovely to have you here. And I noticed you came in last night. That you hung out with Stanimir, yes?
I did a little. I see my dog's taking a bit of a liking to yours here. Yeah, I guess they were playing some kind of game. Are you from here? Do you travel with this group or are you just dropping in?
Yes, no, I travel. Sorry, my voice is much. It's early, I have to get there. Yes, I travel with Madam Eva, and this I have been with your camp for several years now, I like it quite a lot. You know, that she is good, many trades and services full through camp, so there's no lack of food. But you know, I saw you playing with Stanimir. I'm impressed that you still have most of your clothing and belongings. That man is a rapacious cheat and liar.
You know, it's crazy. You sound just like someone I used to know. Waterdeep.
Love that song.
Yeah, well,
Just
maybe I'll take my dog and go somewhere else. What do you want?
it's you know, the Waterdeep guy was real salty too. Um, yeah, you know, I wasn't really paying attention to the game. I don't want to talk bad on anyone, but I travel with someone who's a bit of a cheat and scoundrel himself, so I knew he could hold his own. I did have a question though. I just sort of heard, I don't know, rumors, children talking, who's to say?
Oh, I love rumors. My literal favorite.
Perfect.
Great
There's
Fleetwood
this
Mac.
like, right? There's this rumor going around that Madame Ava is like 300 years old, which isn't possible.
Oh, for
And
sure, for sure.
where is this even coming from? And she's got some connection with Strahd. I mean,
Oh, you do not know this? Sorry, it's
well, I'm not from
early.
here.
You know, I have to. Yes, Madame Ava. I'm sorry. Allow me to rephrase. The Devil Strahd comes here twice a year for a tarot reading. Madame Ava thinks none of us know. She sends all of us to visit our in-laws or fucking whatever. But I have no family. You know why? Because nobody likes me. So I stay here on the down low. I sleep in a hammock by that tree over there. And he points and there's a hammock in a tree. So I have
He
seen,
has no family because nobody likes him.
yeah.
Sounds like
All
my
I
right.
don't
kind
think
of,
that's how.
sounds like my kind
Well,
of guy, honestly.
My mother left before I was born.
okay, Doctor Doofenshmirtz. Off with that.
So yeah, so Strahd comes here twice a year for a tarot reading. I guess to see if something changed from the last one.
Did, did you happen to hear his last reading that hasn't changed from the last one? I'm just curious. I've only ever had the one reading.
No, I sort of saw the nighttime shadow manifest into a bat-laden human and walk into the tent, and I nearly pissed my pants, and I decided that I needed to go somewhere else immediately. I didn't stick around to sort of eavesdrop. Also, it's rude.
Understandable.
Yeah, that one fuck, what's her name? Whatever, that bitch needs to learn that
I
lesson.
know that bitch. Seriously.
But about the other part, it's curious that you know this because not many people do, and I know that you are maybe not from around here, but yes, Madame Ava is old as fuck.
She's certainly not 300 years old, though, right? Is Madame Ava, how do I put it? Well, I know she's got man.
A witch.
Yeah. A human, a vampire, a werewolf. What is she? We don't live to be that old.
Madame Ava, how do I explain this? Madame
Pretend
Ava,
that was worded in a
whether or
Mel
not
way, not a high me way.
whether or not Madame Ava is a human or a witch matters not, because what Madame Ava is important to whatever power maintains this valley. And as long as she stays important to the power that maintains this valley, she will not go anywhere or be threatened by anything. It is another reason why I personally like to kick it here, because nothing bad is going to happen to Madame Ava. You know why? Because twice a goddamn year, the devil himself comes and knocks on her tent wall and says, "Excuse me, ma'am, have you the time?"
That's fair.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair, and I have no desire to even try to do anything to Madame Ava. I was just curious. Like I said, you hear things, and it can be a little intimidating to hear the person is good friends with the devil himself, as you put it. But everything here seems run well, and
Can I? This might be a little untoward, and he looks over his shoulders. But you seem like a stand-up person, and obviously you're your lovely dog that is getting along fine with King. So I feel, and maybe you might be the person who could benefit from this knowledge. Maybe not, but hey, listen, take it with a grain of salt, huh? You met Eliza last night, right?
is that the one that was dropping eaves, or is that the
No,
big?
that's the big titty bitch.
It's the big titty bitch.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I think she was playing the game.
I just lost the game.
I would not trust that person.
Well, I don't trust most people, so.
This is smart. This is a good thing. Now, if you will excuse me, it is poo-poo time for King and coffee time for me. This is wild. You have a lovely evening. Or day, whatever time it is. Time's a construct. Bye.
Hell yeah.
All right, Bessie, that was lovely. Great job. I'm glad you did something other than took your dog for a walk in this fantasy Sims that you appear to be
I
playing.
wasn't gonna actually just leave it at that. It was just like, so like I started with that. I'm like, that's obvious, and then my brain just went gone, and I knew I needed more,
Personally, I thought it was a genius
but nothing
opportunity to
happening
let the
out there.
DM serve something up that he chose, and I thought you were just setting it up for him.
No, you did great, Bessie. I'm very proud of you. Apollo, question?
Is there any chance that I'd be able to have a chat with Madame Eva?
After we do Gareth's bit and then come back from our pee break and ad break. Gareth, up late or up early?
You know what? Combination of everybody else choosing up early and Gareth being a natural thief, he is up late.
Okay. Deep shadows along the encampment. The bonfires are burning into coal beds. What are you doing? Where are you at?
So Gareth is doing typical thief shit in a new environment. He is basically going through everybody's tent and just looking at what they have, window shopping, browsing. He's not taking anything. He's just seeing what everybody has.
All right, roll me a stealth check. I want to know how slick you are at this.
Doing it.
That's almost worse. Can you imagine someone breaks into your house not to take anything, just to see what the fuck you have?
Imagine they break in your house and they just call you poor.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, they look
They're
around
like,
and they're like,
damn fool.
never mind. Like, they bring you shit that they stole from somebody
They're
else.
like, you need this more than I do.
Yeah.
They break into your house. You're like, what are you doing here? And they look, damn fool, you should come with us.
The origin of Santa Claus.
All right, let me roll this beautiful Libris Arcana die.
Nice.
Libris Arcana mention.
Hot damn. 14 plus 9 is 23.
Okay. Yeah, pretty stealthy, moving through the shadow. You picked a good time to do it. It's after everybody's gone to bed. There's not a whole lot of light from these fires to really like identify you. So you kind of skulk from shadow to shadow. Nothing really like super intriguing, Gareth. No like magical bits and baubles. The most valuable things you can find have like personal keepsake value. There's like, a gold-tipped letter opener.
Or like the telescope that girl had.
There's a brass telescope. Yeah, but I mean, like the people of Madame Ava's encampment aren't living wealthily. They are just living well.
No, Gareth's sneak thief activities would not exempt Madame Ava from his prowl.
You're gonna go into Madame Ava's tent.
Damn straight. He might save it for last just in case something goes wrong, but he's going and he's checking what's happening. If you need a separate stealth check, I can do it.
Give me a separate stealth check. I just want to see how slyly you enter the tent.
Entering specifically is a 13 plus 9 is 22.
22. Okay.
Very soft carpeting. Won't hear you coming.
I'll tell you what, the carpeting muffles your footsteps and you
It might be a rug.
It might be. Hey, listen, it's dark. Nobody knows what the difference is between those two things. Anyway, so you walk inside the tent. I'm
glad that I'm waiting until after you mentioned that I'm inside the tent to make this joke. But picturing somebody trying to stealthily sneak into a tent is so funny. Just a.
It's the
zipper. But I'm already in, so it doesn't matter.
You're in there. You see a banked brazier in the middle of the tent that has been like smored over, obviously to be uncovered the next day. There is one lit lantern on the card table where you sat earlier to get your reading. And then there's another sort of like alcove where there appears to be like gentle breathing coming from the other side of a wall of curtains where ostensibly Madame Ava is asleep.
All right. I mean, yeah, nothing particularly shiny leaping out at me, begging to be added to my inventory.
No, I mean, there's not like a chest of jewels that's open or anything. I think the most valuable thing you see is on the table next to this lantern. There's like a really small bag of coins. I mean, maybe like 10 water Davian silver gooches worth of money, like not a lot. And then there's a deck of cards.
Fair enough. I will say that anytime Gareth is sneaking around anywhere, the best case scenario is absolutely a treasure chest full of jewels. That's what he's hoping for every time, no matter the scenario.
It's like robbing a food bank, hoping he's like, oh, big chest of
Yeah,
jewels.
exactly. I'm sneaking into like an abandoned dump. There's got to be a treasure chest full of jewels around somewhere.
So what are you doing?
I think after just kind of making like an Amazon wish list full of everybody's stuff, he retreats back. I don't know if this is cool or not. I wanted to actually add something to Mel's morning routine. I think because Gareth habitually goes to bed and wakes up later, I think Mel feeds Constance in the morning when she feeds JP.
Probably. I feel like cats don't allow themselves to go unfed, so
I can testify that they do not.
yeah. So yeah, she definitely would.
Real quick aside, what hat does Constance have on while Mel fills his little milk saucer?
Well, he was just sleeping before he heard Mel awake, so he has like an old timey like sleeping cap with a little thing.
Nice.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Hell yeah. Cool.
Very cute.
Anything else, Gareth, or is that it?
If nothing interesting happens to or around Gareth while he's lurking around looting, then not particular. I'm not gonna go look for any conversations while I'm trying to steal stuff. But if one approaches me,
let's do this. As you make your last round, let's say that you come out of Madame Ava's tent feeling very accomplished by how stealthily you did this, I might add. You see like a shadow on a shadow move, and then a voice from one of these like oases of dull red light hails you and says in a very familiar tone, you know, it is a bold man that sneaks into Madame Ava's tent while she is sleeping. And Stanimir, you see the form of Stanimir sort of like appear out of the shadow where he's lounging by this like coal bed. You can only see him from like the dull glimmer of like dead firelight from his one working eye as he stares at you. And there's like a wink of gold shining in his grin.
It takes an equally brave man to cheat everybody in a game at their own camp. That's why I moved to other people's.
I don't think it takes any bravery whatsoever. I think it's simple sleight of hand and maybe a little bit bigger balls.
Yeah, okay. Typically, balls are a metaphor for bravery, but I will agree with you here. I just needed a snappy comeback.
Not mine.
All right. Enough about your balls.
If I might be so bold as to suggest, maybe don't go sneaking into Madame Ava's tent. There are some things in there that will turn your shit white. Like scary stuff is what I am saying.
Yeah, I was just like, what? I was just there.
Did you touch
the
anything?
only scary thing was the lack of treasure chest filled with jewels.
Oh, Madame Ava's treasure is not money, friend. It is information. Really?
Oh, I'm dumb as rocks. I don't need that. My treasure is treasure, but I'm sorry I interrupted you. Please continue.
You see that shadow on a shadow move again, Gareth? Give me a perception check, please.
Okie dokie. Yes, my other good modifier. I have 3 of them. Ooh, not that good. 10 plus 7 is 17.
17. He's got some sort of piece of paper in his hand that he is flipping up in a straight line and then catching between 2 fingers.
It's a card, right?
It's either a card or a pamphlet, some sort of like small compact piece of paper, but you can't quite tell because it's very, very dark. And you are wearing sunglasses.
Actually, motherfucker, Gareth got those glasses spell-proof.
Yeah, no, I understand.
I think Gareth is gonna make an educated guess that he's flipping up a card just because like that's the same shit that he would do outside of like no need to confirm it. That's just what Gareth is thinking.
Okay.
What you sound like you speak from experience. What sort of terrifying moments happened with you and Madame Ava? You get a bad reading?
Madame Ava has never had my fortune. I am I do not relish knowing what my future has in store for me. I prefer to be surprised. I do not seek out being read. It is something that me and my former wife argued over many times. Speaking of my former wife, your compatriot, or maybe it was you, I cannot remember. You have very similar faces, you and the instrument fellow. One of you has my ex-wife's Tarot cards.
Gareth makes that clear. His name is Arnold, not the instrument.
Okay, Arnold. I think it is Arnold who has my ex-wife's Tarot cards. Yes, he won it last night after successfully guessing that I was telling the truth or whatever, what have you.
Which one is your wife or your former wife? I'm so sorry.
She does not live here, my friend. She does not live in the same encampment with me. She lives down the valley. But
well, I mean, we didn't win. We didn't win anything from you because when we guessed correctly, you lied and said we were wrong. So we didn't get shit from you.
You are a very frustrating person to talk to. Has anybody ever told you this?
You know what?
Constantly talk in circles so that you can pretend to be the smartest person, and then no, we arrived at the point on accident.
Yeah, it's due to a massive insecurity in my own intelligence. This is above table though. We didn't get shit from this guy. Like he lied to our faces.
I thought, Anthony, did you win the deck of Tarot cards from him? I cannot remember for
that. Yes, because he said that hopes it brings you better, or there's no luck in those, or something like that.
Okay. I just remember making a point of us being correct and him saying, no, you're wrong. So I didn't think that we got anything from him. So in that case, we just try the whole fucking conversation again.
It's fine. Let's just do this. And he says, no, I am pretty sure that your friend has my ex-wife's Tarot cards. I strongly encourage, do not try and take a reading from those cards. There is, I said this last night, no luck in those cards.
Well, is there luck in any cards, or is it just how you mark them? They're cards. Gareth does not believe in this at all. He thinks the Tarot is like a bunch of hooey.
Even though Gareth was full on died and come back.
Yeah, nobody told him it was going to happen.
So you do not believe in luck?
I feel like that's a separate, unrelated topic, but
it is the topic that I am bringing up in this exact moment. Do you or do you not believe in luck?
Yeah, sure. I believe that lucky things can happen, but I do not believe a person or thing to be lucky.
So what is luck to you? Is it just a random machination of cogs that are invisible and constantly operating?
Well, I hate to be a boring realist, but in this massively chaotic universe, kinda, yeah, it's just random shit that happens. And sometimes we gamble on it. And sometimes we make other people think we're gambling on luck when actually we're gambling on something that is guaranteed.
So you are... Oh, this is interesting. I like this. So you are saying that luck is an ephemeral concept, but your own cheats and schemes and strategies, no judgment here, I have my own, okay? Game recognized game. But your own machinations control your destiny for you. This is what you are saying. You do not need luck while you are good at what you do.
Yeah, that's a fairly good thing to say. I think an average card player will bet on something he think has a good chance of panning out, whereas a professional card player like the two of us bets on something that he sets up to pan out.
So if you are well planned, you do not need luck.
Yes, correct. I think luck can help you in certain ways. I think relying on it is the downfall of many.
This was a good conversation, despite its sort of frustrating start.
You know what? I've heard that a lot too.
Okay, we are going to take a quick pee break because I have to go to the bathroom, and then we're going to have an ad break, and then we're going to get you guys out of this encampment and on with the adventure. Yippee! Welcome, friends, benefactors, countrymen. Lend me your ears. Sit at my table, partake of my hearth, and hear of my friend Garion's tale about how Libris Arcana, our lovely, magnificent, generous sponsor, saved his life and turned him towards the light of Dice Jesus.
What's good, gang?
Dice.
So it was really important. I needed to get the difference between the "come sit at my hearth and gather around my table" into the "what's good, gang."
Yeah.
I'm so glad you're giving me this opportunity to share my story, Alex, because I was in a real dark time in my life called 18 to 20. And
Diana's familiar, except it's all of
No, I'm like, yours stopped at 20?
it.
Like, God
No.
damn.
The only difference is that I'm not 20 anymore.
Right.
I'm 16. Anyway, real rough patch in my life. I was playing League of Legends and Overwatch, sometimes both in the same day.
Ouch.
And then this dude that I follow on Twitter, he tweeted something about like starting this podcast, and I was like, that seems like something that isn't Overwatch or League of Legends. I should get in on that. And then, similar to a drug addict stumbling upon a Bible, I got mailed a set of Libris Arcana dice.
Nice. Good save.
And I'll tell you, I'm doing great. They are beautiful and resin made. Anyway, yeah, I'm going door to door telling people to go buy Libris Arcana dice, and it's not annoying, and it works every time.
Apollo, how can our delightful listeners bask in the love and salvation that is their very own Libris Arcana dice subscription?
If you have to ask, it's already too late.
Damn.
Sorry, guys, you're cooked. No dice for you.
If you repent to the Dice Lord, and if your faith is strong, then you may visit the Libris Arcana website and use Stupid20 at checkout. The code Stupid20 is the road to your salvation.
And on this road, wrote John Paul to the Corinthians, if ye were to cancel your subscription, Anthony, wouldst thou have to speak to a human?
Thankfully, you don't have to answer one single door.
Praise Dice Jesus!
You don't have to knock at a single door. You don't have to knock at one telephone door. You have to speak to not one soul, but except for possibly a computer soul when you type in the information. But yes, you do not have to talk to one person, not even 12 people at one single day. 0 people. Oh, I love this, Apollo. I love what you're doing right now.
I believe what my man Anthony is driving at. If you would like to become a disciple to the Church of Dice Jesus, you can go to Libris Arcana.
A disciple? Sorry.
A disciple to the Church of Libris Arcana. You can go to librisarcana.com and use our exclusive discount code STUPID20 for 20% off anything site-wide. This has got to be the worst ad we have ever read on this podcast.
Oh, that's the wrong number. It was a nat 20. I rolled a nat 20 on the Bible.
Nat 20. Hey, you too can roll a nat 20 on the Bible. Libris Arcana, dice for life.
Pretty cancel for that one.
No. Anthony, you interrupted me saying "pray hofunculus." I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I love you.
I had that idea. I'm like, oh, I have a really good idea. Pray hofunculus. That's a good pun. Here it comes. Now's my time. Why is Anthony talking?
I'm sorry.
I'm not actually mad at you.
That sounds like a bummer. I don't want to be anchored to reality. That's the opposite of my goal. Like direct opposite of my goal.
Have I got great news for you? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to our D&D fantasy comedy podcast where Diana gets to pretend that she is happy and has a wolf pup named Joshua Patrick. I hope your bathroom break was great. Ours was magnificent. We talked about Dice Jesus, and I loved it a lot. Can't wait for you guys to hear that ad. Okay, next morning at the Vistani encampment, you guys are packing up to go. It's time to roll, except you notice one thing, and that thing is that Irina Kolyanovich has scarpered in the middle of the night. She left a note folded up on her sleeping bag that said, as you unravel it, it says, "I'm so sorry. I can't do this. I can't put you in danger. I must go on my own. Please don't follow me."
She's gonna
Okay,
fucking
next,
die.
Gareth throws the bye.
Gareth, you actually noticed that it is the piece of paper that Stanimir was playing with last night while he was talking to you about luck by the fireplace.
That I like to imagine Gareth fully could tell that it was a note and just couldn't read it, so he didn't.
Or see, also didn't care.
You know what? In tandem,
Stanimir procures enough days' rations to get you guys to Wallaki. Your horses have been taken care of, including Arnold's mule.
Which is
Fowler,
just two guys in a horse suit.
Fowler, hot guy, takes off his fake horse costume head and says, "What's going on, guys?"
God, fucking hot in his costume.
Did you guys have fun? I thought that maybe I could come in, but then Gareth punched me in my nose. He's got a broken nose, and said that I had to get back in costume. So I've been hanging out with the other horses. And hey, get this, grass, pretty good. And then he puts his horse mask back on and pretends to be a horse once more.
I like to imagine that Arnold just like walks up after he puts the mask on, like has no idea that this is
like this is all a ruse. That Arnold's real mule died a long time ago, and Gareth replaced it with two humans, and he just hasn't noticed.
It's like, "Oh, good morning, Betsy," or whatever, and Fowler's like, "Nay."
Yeah, the reason Gareth punched him in the face was like, "He's coming, he's coming, he's coming."
Mary Shelley.
It's like Toy Story, and he's coming, and he's coming.
Mary Shelley, god damn it. Okay. As you are packing up to leave, Madame Ava comes out of her tent. She's carrying a cup of tea and she's walking on a walking stick. In the light of day, she appears to be significantly more frail than she was sitting at her card table last night. She looks 1,000 years old. Her face is carved into hundreds of lines that seem to like fold and go like deep into them until like the skin of her face is gnawing at itself, folding inwards with all of these lines of age. The hand holding her cane is like wicked thin and skinny, and you can see the bones and carapaces of like her hand bones shining through, and there's that weird like old person varicose veins where they're like way too pronounced and bright. But she looks at you with fervor in her eyes and says, I have a quest for you. I don't remember what I sounded like last episode, but I'm pretty sure
Miss
it was
Piggy.
like this.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. It was Miss Piggy.
Yep.
Hey.
We all sound different when we wake up in the morning. I haven't seen the best of those.
Yeah, sorry. I got to clear my... I have a quest for you.
A quest. Typically, a reward is associated with quests.
Okay, hear her out first.
I'm sorry, Julian, but she used the word quest.
Hear the quest first, then you can ask.
I mean, it's technically more of an errand, but I thought if I said quest, it would sound glamorous enough that you guys would go for it.
See, if she said errand, we would be leaving. But now we're in the conversation already. What is your task, woman?
My great grandniece's name day is 3 days from now, and I didn't get her a present because I forgot. And I need you guys are going to Wallaki, right? You said that you were going after the bitch that ran away last night.
Did we say that?
I don't recall saying that.
I don't think
we were going to escort her.
I was in fact going to
anyway,
ask the
and then she ran
question.
away.
I was going to say when Bessie had mentioned gave us enough rations to go to Wallaki, I didn't interrupt, and I'm proud of me because I was going to interrupt and be like, "Well, hold up, who said we're going there? Like, why would I go there? Like, that's where that bitch went." So we did not agree to go to wherever that place is what I'm getting at. Well, I forgot my great-grandniece's name day, which makes me a shitty person, I guess. But I need you, if you're already going, because my bones are old and frail, and your bones are young and supple.
Oof. Yuck.
God.
Don't say that.
Since your bones are so young and nubile.
I don't like that either.
You ever say something so gross it knocks you out of your own character?
Dude, it did look like you just stepped on a rake and it boing.
Because you guys are youthful, would you please, let me phrase it as a question. Would you please consider going to Blinksy Toys in Wallaki and buying a toy for Arabella's name day
and giving it to her for me, her great grand aunt. I would appreciate it, and I also reward you handsomely for it because I know you're not the type of adventurers who do shit for free.
There it is. Okay,
For the
you have
record, I
yourself.
would.
Just the one great? How old is your grandniece turning here?
Oh, she's turning 10.
So there's like more than one great before aunt then.
I mean, no need to be
What's the name
rude.
of the
You're
shop
being
again?
rude.
What's the name of the shop again?
Matter of fact.
Blinksey's toys.
I
Thank you.
remembered.
She's really into creepy haunted dolls. So if you could find like a creepy haunted, maybe like a puppet with strings that are tangled. She's really into weird shit. She wears a lot of black and listens to Good Charlotte.
It's not that one over there, right? Gareth points to Eliza.
No, that's a separate but similar goth bitch.
Okay. Julian, do you hear that? There's another one.
Well, one of them, hold up. One of
I
them's
don't
10,
know
homie.
why this is.
Oh, fuck yeah, you're right.
Whoa.
No.
I was caught off guard by the 10-year-old being referred to as, quote, another goth bitch. Unquote.
Yeah, that one's on me.
Real.
All right, now you mentioned some sort of handsome reward because, quite frankly, we don't want to do that shit. So why should we?
No, I understand that you, smart guy, you're one of the good eggs, and I also suspect that the moon-faced kid playing the guitar right now is also one of the good eggs. Those other two, I'm not so sure about.
Hey, we are all eggs here, okay? We all have yolk.
Gross. Say more about that. Speak on that.
I'm known for my yolks. I'm a big yolkster. Anyway, you've made this conversation a living shell.
Wow.
Let's crack on with it.
I'm gonna murder you, please.
Arnold's like, what exactly are we talking about here? And just
I fear this conversation has gotten a bit scrambled.
I'm gonna let you finish, but I think we have other business to attend to.
She looks at Mel. She looks at Mel and says,
Man, albumen are really the worst part of this world, aren't they?
Yeah, I'd rather pick the bear.
all right. I'm sure we're all having a lot of fun here.
Apollo,
are you
Apollo's
okay?
dying.
Apollo, are you all right?
Okay. Yolks aside, I'll give you 25 gold for what's basically a two-day ride, and my great grandnephew, her dad is very influential in the Vistani encampment, and if you guys need like information or God forbid if something horrible should happen, he's gonna help you out. Just tell him my name.
Wait, he's an important
who's
person
the dad?
here?
What's the dad's name?
His name's LaFauci, like the bread.
Oh, okay.
Lavash is a Middle Eastern flatbread similar to a pita. Yes.
Oh.
So Arnold would take out his like daily, like his journal that he writes in and writes his lyrics in and such, and kind of like take out a piece of paper and say, just in case we do come across this person, there are a lot of not so trustworthy folk in this area that, people seem to not trust us. We haven't been necessarily trusting others. Could you possibly just write a note, maybe sign it, so if we do run across this person, he might be more likely to believe us that we know you.
Yeah, totally. That's a good idea, actually.
Gareth also
hold
takes
my
out a
tea.
notebook, but it's filled with scribbles.
That's just troll.
Gareth's notebook is just like pictograms, just like smiley faces. He's seen Anthony write, he's seen Arnold write lyrics, so he's just got a notebook full of just like, yes, I can write too.
Little drawings.
Arnold, she hands you her cup of tea and takes your paper and quill and scribbles a quick message that's something to the effect of like, dear Lavash, trust these jackasses, they're with me, Madam Ava, and like gives it back to you.
Do you sip her tea while you're holding it?
Do you smell her tea?
I sniff it.
Okay,
Sure.
give me a perception check, please. Or
I
a nature
sniff.
check.
I don't sniff.
Why
Ooh,
is
okay.
sniffing
Probably
it so much
perception, but-
weirder than... I feel like if I handed somebody my beverage and they were just like... I would be weirded out by that.
I got an
Okay,
18.
Perfect. It is some sort of like tea-esque concoction. However, there is a thick oil slick over the top, and the brew itself is a vicious, vibrant red.
Huh.
That's not suspicious in a land filled of vampires.
What's up,
Yeah.
I would like to ask Madame Eva. I you know that I would just do this, but if trades are on the table, I wouldn't mind upon the completion of this getting some information about the. I kind of I was gonna say lean in, but I'm a short little guy. I kind of get on my tiptoes
Lean
up
up.
to. I lean up and I just say, "The dark powers."
Gareth also leans in, and also the gold.
Damn, that almost went your way.
I
Her
roll that
Don't
shit
say
again.
that out loud.
Roll that again.
No, her face closes like a steel trap, and she snatches her tea back from Arnold. And in the blink of an eye, Julian, she goes from like a friendly older lady asking for a favor to like a cold-hearted woman who would happily feed 2 children to an oven. She turns into Mel, and so. She says,
"You're making a Hansel and Gretel
who
joke,
you
right?
think you are or what you think you're talking about, but you have got me fucked up if you think I'm talking about whatever you're talking about. If you would be so kind as to buy a present for my great grandniece, whatever, how many greats niece, I would appreciate it if we could keep it to a strictly money transactional thing. That'd be great. You've already
When she snatches the tea, does any spill on me? Because that would be a quick jarring motion, right?
Some spills. Give me a dexterity save to try and pull your hand back, unless you would like to intentionally get it on you.
I wouldn't like to intentionally get it on my hand because that's the only reason I have to taste it, honestly.
That's the most Arnold shit I've ever heard. Somebody spills a drink on him. He's like, yeah,
100%. Yep.
Arnold, you take 2 points of ouch damage.
Fair enough.
points of ouch damage.
Ouchie.
I'm dead.
So
as opposed to ooh damage.
Yeah, well, hey, listen, there's qualifiers, right? Like if it's sub 5, it's ouchie damage. Anyway,
as she says the whole thing about preferring it being money, I say, gold won't save us.
Oh, I disagree.
No, hey,
sorry,
Gareth. Gareth.
Sorry, please continue with your mystical conversation. Just don't neglect.
My hand is up and it's shaking like I'm about to cast something on Gareth, but I'm just staring down at Amoeba. I say, I don't, they care about your money. I don't give a fuck about your money. I want to get out of here alive. You give me all the gold you want. That's not going to save me against Strahd. The only way we're going to get out of here is if we know what we're up against. And we can't know that if we don't know as much as we can about where he gets his power from so that we can fight it.
I high five him.
Nice.
Like, my hand is still up.
Yeah,
Listen, I understand. I get it. I get where you're coming from. You're scared. Right? You're a scared guy, and that's fine. I've seen 100 scared guys, and
You're a little pussy. You're a little pussy bitch.
I've seen 100 of them disemboweled and left to dry over the road. Okay, you can tell me. Let me rephrase in a way that makes sense for other people to hear.
Sorry, that was my voice speaking up through her throat there.
At some point, Julian Ironblade, knowledge isn't going to save you. There is a point where knowledge runs dry, and you're going to have to accept that for a fact. Some things can't be explained.
I fundamentally disagree. And
I
I'm not
fundamentally
scared
don't like
anymore.
your face. Get out of my camp.
Well, all right. Fair enough. Can't argue with that.
I to think that Julian, with that expression on Apollo's face, that's the expression he rides out of camp with, like staring.
He turns around on the horse and with that same face. I think I was gonna say, like, Gareth tries to like remove Julian from the wrath of this old woman, and as he's like dragging Julian away by the collar, or at least attempting to, because Gareth is not very strong,
What? As I'm being dragged off, can I cast detect magic on her?
I mean, yeah, of course. She saves out of that, right? Or does it just happen?
Detect magic is look, rules is written. Detect magic is kind of fucking nothing. Uh, detect magic as
Sense
such
magic.
will only really give me a sense of is there any sort of uh I sense the presence of magic within 30 feet. I can sense magic in this way, see like faint aura around creatures or objects. And it'll tell me like what school of magic, if any, is affecting in an area. As she says this, I essentially what actually kind of the aggressive pushback from telling me any information or the mere idea of me wanting to know more is so aggressive that I'm like, I think Julian can't comprehend somebody not wanting to know the answer to something
Okay.
fundamentally. So they're
Sure.
like, oh, maybe there's something that is magically stopping them or magically affecting them because he can't
Okay.
accept that she just won't tell him.
All right, let's do this. Julian, give me an Arcana check, please. Give it to me with advantage.
Lovely. Come on. Come on, Ironblade. Oh, okay. Well, on the die, that's an 18 and a 19.
Oh shit!
Damn.
Uh, saying come on really helped out.
Apparently, fuck.
+7 for a total of 26.
26. All right. The 26 Arcana. I'll give you two things. Number one, this woman is under no spell effect. However, in a rare for Julian Ironblade glimpse of human interaction where you actually pick up the unspoken social cues that somebody else is putting down, you realize that in her very old, brittle bones, this woman is terrified of something. And that is where this sort of pushback outburst is coming from.
I
Wow,
think that
so we're gonna
only strengthens his resolve that he has to figure out what these dark powers are.
I think
we're gonna we're gonna sit on that, and Gareth, as he's like dragging Julian away, he's gonna like whisper to him, "Yo, what's your fucking deal, man? You're writing a thesis on Barovia?"
Kind of, yeah, yeah. That's like the whole point. Yeah.
Is it? I thought we were evading taxes. Is that why we came here?
No, that's why you came here. I'm here.
To advise
A,
us on
because you
those
dragged me.
taxes.
B, I've back home, I've written multiple books about gods throughout the multiverse.
Whoa.
And this was the next stop. I
You can
didn't think I'd be
write?
here for the next few, in years from now, but
Did
I'm
you
here
just ask him if
now.
he can
So
write?
Gareth is very impressed by Julian's ability to write books. He's blown away by
I,
this.
I've been writing almost half the day for the past however many days we've been here.
Well, yeah, so have I. Gareth opens his notebook to reveal just like scribbles and pictures.
See
We've
that?
all been taking notes and doing so. I didn't know you were writing books.
Well, that could be a cipher. In fairness, I think Julian will. You know what? I think this could be a little cute, a little sweet moment.
Yeah.
Julian will start trying to teach Gareth how to read.
Oh shit.
I love that a lot. Give me like the first 2 minutes of it.
So, okay, well, we're not going to look at any of this because all this is spell work, and you know this
I'm
is
bad with
too
spelling
difficult.
in both ways.
Okay, okay, let's go. Okay, here's a little journal entry.
Damn it, Gary.
I mean, come on, dude.
And I think Julian will start slowly reading line by line, like tracing the finger on the line, the journal entry from one of the not even from Barovia, but like from before, just like today in the study, I looked over this book and found this, and this. I'll tell him, you don't need to worry about the content of it because you already speak common, so now it's just a matter of being able to read it. Let's sound it out. and he goes like syllable by syllable, trying to sound it out so that Gareth can't understand it.
Yeah, Gareth has put some effort into it.
All right. All right. Reading rainbow moment from Julian and Gareth. I love that.
Not too much effort because that is a shocking amount of my jokes. But
Bessie, were you going to say something?
Have we left yet?
Yes.
Yeah, we are
Okay.
On the road.
Yes. On the road again.
So as I'm sorry, like did I wanted to taste that tea. Did you tell me what it tasted like? I know it burned me. I don't think you told me what it actually tasted like.
You took 2 points of ouch damage, and then you licked your hand, which, as Garion did point out, was kind of weird.
Right.
But it tasted bitter and astringent. Like have you ever had a curry that's made with too much turmeric and it's got that sort of like raw tanniny feel where it sort of like sucks the moisture out of your tongue?
Okay.
It's like that.
Okay. But is it like any tea that Arnold would have possibly tasted, or does
sure
it?
No way.
No. Okay. It's very okay. That's what. Gotcha.
Does it taste like any sort of blood?
Yeah.
It does not taste like blood. Okay, so the road out of the encampment follows the river and then starts to climb. You guys climb the valley wall until you are 2, 3, 4, 500 feet up, switchbacking up this wooded slope, following the pine trees as they grow stunted and stubbled and fall away as this path sort of weaves up past the tree line, higher than the tree line, until you're following the lip of what's almost like a canyon as you see this valley fall away, tracing the route of this river down towards where Barovia is, around the corner of one of these like mountains forming this valley. This cloud of, it almost looks like heavy thunder cloud, stays very still as you trace your way up this valley, stubbornly not moving from the shoulder of one specific stretch of mountain. But as you come to this cliffside where the sheer limestone and moss riddled wall sort of like rises to your left, you see on a little like scratched imprint that's almost like a parking lot sized, small parking lot size. You know how they have those things where it's like a roadside attraction and it's just enough of like a shoulder to pull off so that you can park your car and like look over the road or whatever.
Yeah.
You see scratched into this limestone cliff a watchtower that is 3 stories tall, very spindly. It has a door that is rusted and moss-eaten, hanging on one hinge. There are windows that are just empty eyes devoid of glass that are scrawling up this rock face, and in front of the door on the only patch of grass are what appear to be 2 fresh graves.
Fresh enough that we can tell that they're fresh?
Yes, even a casual glance tells you that they're probably no more than 3 days old.
Are there tombstones or headstones?
There are tombstones, yes. One of them has what appears to be, it almost looks like a sunburst arrangement, kind of crude, kind of like scratched into a big rock kind of tombstone vibe. But then the other one is much clearer, and it has 2 letters carved into it, and those letters are JJ. And then underneath that it says, "Rest in peace, King."
And then next to it, "Rest in pieces," the bottle.
There's one broken wine bottle gently laid under the rocks of this grave, and it is very oily looking.
Dear God, it was a wine bottle.
That's a long sprout.
Jesus.
Okay, so there is a watchtower, and then down the road, maybe like another quarter mile, you can see there is a massive stone bridge that extends over one section of this valley, passing a waterfall that is like thundering and filling the air with a sort of like gentle white noise.
Is it scenic?
Oh, it's scenic as fuck.
There are no lakes nearby, are there? Just because I'm trying to rule out if this is one of the towers, or one of the places that the Taroka cards pointed us towards.
What did the Taroka card say?
Yeah, please,
The
because
first
somebody else
one,
needs to know.
Master of Stars was
It is
Wizard
Diana.
Tower on a lake. Then
Tower
was
on a
Wizard
lake,
of
okay.
the Vines, but I doubt it's this one. Card 3 with a weapon was soldier. Mountain white tower guarded by golden knights. That's about it. So there are like two definite tower references in the cards, potentially three, depending on how wizardy this Wizard of the Vines is.
I mean, where do wizards live? In towers.
Towers, obviously.
You gotta.
There are no lakes nearby that you can see,
Okay.
Julian.
And no mountains. And is this tower white? And does it have any golden elements to it?
Not a single speck of gold. The only white you can see is from the raw limestone that it is carved out of, which barely counts as white. It's sort of like a bird shit gray. And this valley is riddled with mountains.
Okay. I'm happy to discard this one so far for now.
Oh shit! Detail. My apologies. Hanging on the grave of JJ, the bottle incident man, is a silver pendant of a silver dragon.
Oh, I would like to take
something
that.
shiny. Gareth is over there.
No, I'm racing.
Give me a roll. You both said it at the same time, so give me a dexterity roll off.
God fucking damn it. My dex is bad.
I have bad news for you, big guy. I'm a rogue.
Right. Okay. Is it just dexterity or is it like any specific skill?
It is just dexterity unless you can give me a solid argument to the contrary.
I'm really hoping that this is a religious item, so I'm just gonna fucking book it. Oh, can I do like acrobatics to try straight up jump on
like a back handspring over there?
All right. Gareth, give me a straight dexterity. Julian, I'll allow acrobatics because that's funnier.
Okay,
lovely. I'm going to use my channel divinity on this. I'm going to use my channel ability, knowledge of the ages. I can use my channel divinity to tap into divine well of knowledge. As an action, I choose one skill or tool for 10 minutes. I have proficiency in that.
Before you tell me what you roll, so nobody can accuse me of any foul play, even though nobody would, Gareth got a 14 plus 6 for dexterity is a dirty 20.
Okay.
Right, okay. I now have a +4 to this.
Oof. You got this.
I need a 16.
Yes, sir.
Come on.
Big money.
Fuck you, nat 20.
Oh, wait.
Okay, so here's what happens.
Awesome.
Gareth sees something shiny and I think literally just lunges for it. I don't even think Gareth clocks that it is A, an amulet, B, a dragon, or C, silver. I think he sees the sunshine glint on it and just goes. Julian launches himself off his horse, does a double handspring, plant into a front spring, and just like both feet lands on Garrett's spine and crunches him into the bottle on top of the grave.
Not the bottle, no.
And Garrett,
it's grease,
like
it's fine.
like a muffled wet squelch as it sort of like.
How exactly do I fall onto this bottle?
Ass first.
You fall. No, actually, you know what it is. You fall into this bottle with your chest, but it squinches upwards because it's so greasy, and it goes past your open lips and sort of like.
Oh,
like,
no.
Shit.
But Julian, you get a fistful of this amulet, and I think we're going to end on the sensation of you touching it is it is the coldest thing you have ever touched in your life.
Yeah, like cold hard cash.
It feels like touching snow. And we are going to end our episode there. And I'm going to have my main man, Anthony, jump us into a merch moment. Anthony, can you talk about the newest design by Hales on our Etsy shop for me, please?
Yes. So we have an incredible new design. It's the awesome bat with the cool sword going through it, which is a symbol of the vampire hunter situations. If you've been following I don't know how much do we spoil in these merch. If you're
they're called the Grave Walkers. I think we can make that claim and leave it there.
Yes. All right. Grave Walkers. So if you want the Grave Walker insignia, and also does it have the critically stupid on the back?
It's got critically stupid, fangs, and fools on the back. No swear words on this one. Cool. If you don't mind a little bit of gore, it is family friendly.
Yes. So make sure your children get this awesome shirt with the bat being completely destroyed by a sword because it's beautiful, wonderful, and who doesn't want to kill all vampires?
In addition to this badass design, any of our collab artist merch pieces, the artist actually gets the majority of the profit from that piece. We don't keep a majority of the earnings from that. So you are supporting your local artist with your shopping there. We have a baseball tee and then a t-shirt. All sizes are stocked for the t-shirt. Baseball tee is available in some sizes because that's, I guess, how baseball tees work. But if you want that t-shirt, it is on our Etsy shop. That is etsy.com/shop/critically-shop. And we've got a bunch of other cool stuff on there, like our racerbacks, which are fully stocked with regular sizes once more, hoodies, tank tops, coffee mugs, all great things. Please check them out. And don't forget to like and subscribe this video. Thank you so much.
Alex, I have just a super quick question for you. If you wanted to get in on our next merch as an artist, how would you be able to reach us?
Great call. You can hit us up on Twitter at CritStupid. It is a profit sharing sort of system. So we'll talk about designs. You come up with something for the show, and then you will get put into the schedule to have your merch item dropped in our store, and then you will reap the majority of the profits that we make off any sales we make. So get at us at CritStupid, and you have a lovely day. And please walk in the light of Dice Jesus.
Thank you. Bye.
I am very high right now.
Let's go. The drought is over, everybody. We made it.
The drought is over. We survived it.
Diana, we traded.
That should be our new merch. We survived the drought.
We survived the drought. It's just like a cloud of smoke.
It's just me puffing. But also, I'm very high, and I brought pie tonight. So.
Oh fuck yeah! Oh wait, Bessie, can you hold it up and pose, and that'll be your thumbnail picture?